My name is Patrick Collins, and I've been involved in firearms for about 8 years and officially an instructor for about 5 years. I got into firearms when I moved down here to the South, only because the police response time to my house was about 45 minutes at the time. After my first experience, when I had to call the cops because of an incident that happened, I quickly realized that I needed to get a little bit more proficient with firearms. So I started taking lessons and I wanted to become an instructor. I don't like being just a person with a firearm. I like to be the person with a firearm. I really enjoy teaching other people how to use firearms. For me, it is amazing. From first time shooters to experienced shooters, you can always critique those that are using firearms. One of the most important things that I learned about using a firearm, not only is it a tool, but just the general concept of firearms scare people. And that's something that we need to break. You need to be adaptive and understand how to use it. It's not just a tool that you take out to stop a threat. It is also a way of life. Firearms have been in society for a very, very long time. To be able to defend yourself, it's very, very important. And that's why it's written in our Second Amendment. When I train first time shooters, I always enjoy the anxiety and the pressure relief from when they pull that trigger. You can't put a finger on the idea of pulling a trigger for the first time. It's really an interesting experience. One thing that I want instructors to learn is not only should you be training, but you should be teaching. And not only should you be teaching, you should be learning. A lot of folks don't learn when they teach. And that's something I do every single time I go to the range with a new student. It's extremely important to constantly adjust your curriculum, your knowledge, your understanding. Every student is different. Instructors, what I want you to realize is that not everybody learns the same way. You need to teach and not preach. The students need to learn, not listen. Adjust your course curriculum. Think of it like a radio. You know what you want to say. You know what you want to do. But dial in to their frequency, not to yours. Be adaptive. Be accommodating. Realize that they are a different person and that half of them are actually afraid of firearms. As instructors, what we tend to forget is that a lot of people fail under the assertiveness of authority. When we train, we are teaching, but we also need to be students in listening. All of our efforts here are basically a commitment to better the community. So don't look at it as I'm teaching to have someone listen. Look at it as we are bettering our society. I've been a brand ambassador for about 8 years, and I realize that a lot of you guys have had a lot more experience than I have. But one of the things I have learned from teaching from all different walks of life is that not everybody learns the same. A lot of the first-time shooters are experiencing crime and uptick in violence in their communities. We need to be aware of that. They came to you for your help. First-time shooters are coming to you. They're coming to me to help protect themselves, their families, and their loved ones. There's a plethora of first-time shooters. They're young, they're old, they're secretaries, they're bosses, they're men, they're women, they're black, they're white, they're Hispanic, they're Asian, in all of the mix of the world. But here in America, it's our freedom. I decided to become an instructor when I realized that I can help people. I have taught many different types of folks from all around the country. I enjoy teaching. You'll never forget your first student, but you should never forget your last student. They are both one of the same. It's a constant learning process. You should enjoy teaching folks, enabling them to be able to shoot and defend themselves. My name is Patrick Collins, and I am an instructor for GA FASTA, Georgia Firearms Security Training Academy. And lastly, I want to thank the Second Amendment Foundation for the opportunity to speak at the Gun Rights Policy Convention. This is super important. This is important for everybody, whether you're former military, a civilian, first-time shooter. We need to stand up for our rights.